So yeah, it's just pretty much as the title says. I need like breathing space in life, and it's just been relentlessly bad. And I don't know what to do. There's nothing I respect anymore. I'm just functioning, and you know, I've had the police turn up again, and as ever they're really polite and everything, but just by the means of their visit I'm aware of what it means, or what it could mean in just like any day, any given day. I know what it could mean, and that is I could get sectioned, and I could get not pleasant the experience of life come my way. I'm not doing anything less than I should be doing right now in the moment. I can't do any better. And I'm still being challenged like non-stop. It's like my hip right now is in a lot of pain, and everything goes like silent and really quiet when I'm in that pain. It's like someone's pressing a nerve. And I have the ability to shut up and take it sometimes, and that's what I'm going to have to do right now, like take some painkillers. So what I was going to share is I'm at the boat. That's where I'm based now. That's my home. I was meant to hand in my tenancy to Hackney Council this week for the flat. I've been so busy with focused on the boat, and my mental health, physical health have been bad. I've not got round to it. That's what's happening for me. And at the moment, I'm just putting in the Veluxes, which is like the next step. Well, one of the Veluxes, which is the next step in the order of work. And I can hear my voice. It's like lightening up to how bad things are, and my body's just astonishingly bad. It's like there's no rest in my body, man. There's no rest in life. You know, I can't sit down and eat a proper meal anymore, and I'm running around, and it's like these things aren't right. And people will medicate you and put you in hospital so you can experience these things. So I don't want to complain about them too much, because if people listen to me wrong, they might hear me the wrong way and think I really want to sit down meal. But no, one of the main reasons I can't sit down and eat my meal is because of the medication in the first place. So unless we've got to the point with the NHS of acceptance therapy where like we're just going to force you to take medication all the time, and that way you don't have to worry about it and you can sit down and eat a meal. I can't do it with my body, man. I'm being asked to experience surreal things, and the pain in my hips is just like, it's unbelievable what's going on. I can't deal with articulation. But you know, I don't. I can see how having a boat is something. And really, it's not possible to really let go of everything. Not when you're in my position. Not when you've got the pressures of life, and being an adult really is against you, and you can't just go off on a spiritual journey and start applying non-attachment when we're talking about houses and homes and consequences in looking like prison and forced medication. It's too serious. So I've got to be conscious about what I'm doing, and like the mental health is saying, apply non-attachment, make things easier, just let go of the boat, do this, do that, and they're all nice ideas. And in the past, when I had security and my dad as backup, I could spend the time, but at the moment I don't have security. And it's just a nice idea, man. It's not the right time to start playing fanciful spiritual ideas, because that's what they are. It's like a guess in the dark, isn't it? That's what spirituality comes down to. And what we have to live is the life in front of us every day, and just hope that life sees the absolute stupidity in the situation in the moment, and realise it doesn't have to take everything. In other words, it doesn't have to teach the lesson of non-attachment to you, because you're living life, which is all about attachments. The pain is severe, man. The pain is severe. I can't get past the pain. I've got to shut up for the police, but I've got to make a little bit of noise to let it out. It's just not. It's not a workable situation. This. So yes, let's talk about football. Newcastle, they've been purchased. They've been purchased £300 million, and they're going to be turned into the biggest club in the world because, they have the fan base there already. They have the infrastructure in terms of their stadium there already, 50,000 with the potential to expand. We don't have a black and white in terms of colour in a shirt. We have reds of Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool. We have white from Spurs, blue from Man City, Chelsea, light and dark blue, but we don't have black and white. So, more ridiculousness is going to come. The Saudi royal family, I don't know, it's the Saudis, I don't know if it's the royal family, have purchased it, and it's just going to be another merry-go-round of hundreds of millions of pounds given to contracts for individuals to kick a football in a different t-shirt when people are suffering and starving and God knows what else all around the world. But try and argue sense that I'm just being natural. I'm no harm to anybody. No danger to myself. It's not quite as easy. It's easier for people to see sense in stupid amounts of money going on ridiculous fun. Don't get me wrong, football's fun, football's great, but it doesn't really serve much of a purpose other than if we all go down the park and have a game. Its purpose is entertainment, and it might as well just be a blockbuster movie. It might as well be another Might as well be another wrestling, you know, WrestleMania. We all know it's fake. There's no real competition anymore because the competition was in that the teams were real at some level. They had to manage their own finances. And even when Man United were dominant in the 90s, 2000s, they did it out of their own financial nout. You know, they earned the money. Then along came Roman Abramovich, and it all went to crazy town. So he did nothing wrong. He wanted to get his money out of Russia because of whatever reasons he had. I didn't look into the politics, but obviously that was his reasoning, and he would have had one of the best stadiums in the world being built right now. The UK government made it as easy for him now as it was before for him to, well, I'm guessing on some level, launder hundreds of billions of pounds, because if it's legit what you're doing, I can't imagine why you need to panic to get your money out of the country and spend it on something like entertainment. But I'm not an oligarch. I'm not a billionaire. I don't follow politics. I don't know about these things. I just know it's stupid, absolutely stupid, for £200 million to be spent on an individual to kick a football in another country. When Neymar went to PSG, it was an atrocity to humanity. But the good news is, and I'm having to go into hysteria, not because the pain is that bad, but because my life is asking for it, because the pain is that bad that I will scream. So really the pain is that bad, but it's not as bad as it's been. As you can hear by the way I'm speaking, I'm going slightly hysterical, but it's a controlled hysteria where I'm speaking over the pain. It's how I get into Tourette's mode. I just realised the situation's so bad, I carry on talking, and then I just don't really care what comes out of my mouth. The whole point is to stop the pain. Sorry for the noise, sir. But the good news is with Newcastle, whatever the collective psychosis, and the new collective psychosis in us all, the collective we share, where we play games with society, play games with corporations beyond the law, beyond what the corporation should and shouldn't do. And Newcastle United Football Club is, well, from my memory, my understanding, the origination of the collective psychosis is involvement within sports, within football at least, because it was with Newcastle United, it was with Kevin Keegan when they should have won the Premiership. Kevin Keegan had his rant trying to imitate me like 20-30 years later with my rants. He's a fortune teller, Kevin Keegan. They fell apart. Manchester United went on to win the title, and then Newcastle fell apart altogether. They've never been the same team since. And really, with the fan base they have, it's going to wonder how it's happened, but it has been the collective psychosis, I guess, that has been key to that. I blame the collective psychosis, I don't really know. But, you know, the way Leicester won the title, the way Arsenal fell apart and just spend all their money on gambling on youngsters, it's just like something's going on beyond beyond the law, which is I own a corporation, I must make the most money for my shareholders as possible. So something's going on. And if the people who are involved, at the heart of it, applying perception to reality as a means to change reality, well, then there's hope beyond the sick system we're given as a birthright in this life. So, you know, I don't complain, I just watch, but football's ruined. And like Manchester City, like Paris Saint-Germain, it is Middle Eastern involvement, the sheikhs. I think there was I can't remember the joke about how many sheikhs own a Premier League club or something. And I don't know if they're conscious beings trying to kill a very, very obscene sport, but what it had become an obscene sport in its monetarisation from being a very, very beautiful sport, beautiful game. It's just become a sick show. I don't know if they're applying a certain level of consciousness to inflate the sport to a ridiculous level before they burst the bubble, or they're just playing the game the other way and watching society fall apart because, well, they're just doing what they're doing. I don't know. Either way, Newcastle United were, I believe, the tag team that went and gave Arsenal the baton, you know, like the tag team, not tag team, the what's it called? It's like the 100 meters, but when you're doing it with like four, the baton, the 4 by 100 meters. Yeah. Newcastle had it, and I remember we went to see with my dad, or at least we went for a drive down the Arsenal parts of London after the game, and it was an FA Cup match. It was an FA Cup match, and oh, what's going on with the screen? There we go. It was an FA Cup match that Arsenal were playing Newcastle in, and Arsenal won. And as we came away from the match, we were driving around Arsenal parts of London, and we saw some Newcastle fans. And this is me as a child. I didn't know how to look at other fans. And my dad turned around to me and said, "You know, Newcastle fans, they're probably the best fans in the world." So my thinking is, whatever is going on with the collective psychosis, whether it be good, bad or mad, but something's going on with sport, something's going on with the Premier League, and something's going on with the Middle East involvement in it. God knows what. Don't want to get into conspiracy theories now, do I? But either way, with that comment my dad made that Newcastle have the best fans in the world, and it all looking like it's going to go to I'm speaking quite loud, so I don't want to swear where possible because I am on the canals, but where stuff is going to hit the fan, so to speak, because it's just an obscene sport. It can't carry on as it is. Something's going to have to happen before there's a revolution in something, one thing or another. It just can't carry on as it is. It's just too disgusting when war and famine still exist in the world. You know, you're spending budgets that enter into percentages of entire country GDPs. All right, small country GDPs of 1 million people, but we're talking about 10% of a year's GDP for, say, Cyprus, which is about a population of about 1 million, so 10% of a year's GDP has been spent on flipping football players by Man City in, well, that's the value of their squad. So Man City's squad equates to 10% of Cyprus's entire GDP. Cyprus is a wealthy country, even in its small size, so don't worry about them. But when you've got flipping favelas and people suffering disease beyond the coronavirus, unfortunately, having a squad worth £1 billion is a bit sickening. And either the value in football has to change or something has to change. Either way, it can't carry on as it is. Does anybody else agree? But that's my little hysterical rant about anything, just to speak about anything. The Velux is going to look, I mean, the main reason I want the Velux in is because I'm suffering from PTSD. And it's going to be like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures #2 for me anyway, living on this boat. When they're crawling through a hell in these small cages, that's what I suspect my life is going to be like, with the PTSD and trauma I have. So having sunlight, any sunlight come in is a godsend. And I got this Velux is like on a steel second-hand on eBay, and they're going to let in so much natural light. And there's something else on that I don't know if I can share on the video right now, and it would be good to share for my mental health, for the trauma I'm suffering. And that is I bought a telescope last year, the year before, and I haven't used it at all. And I've been looking at it, and that's where my heart is, you know. That's like peace. I just see myself looking up at the sky, seeing all the constellations, swearing at the effing aliens for them being so lazy and leaving us like this as a collective. And looking at the stars. And, you know, if I'm on the canals in the countryside and it's dark, I don't even have to go outside. I just point my telescope straight up out the window. But that's a fantasy I have. It doesn't really match up to my life at the moment, but it isn't why I purchased the Velux. It is to just get sunlight in, quite simply. I know how effective it is against depression, and yeah, without it, the boat is going to look a lot different, and it's going to, my mental health is going to look a lot different. My life is going to look a lot different. So I just shared something I feel vulnerable with on some level, but yes, look, I need to get on. I'll show you a clip of it once it's done. But asking for healing prayers to be sent my way for my physical health, if I'm honest. And I'm having to up my game. I have to up my game. Speaking to the police when I realised it's possible for me to up my game in terms of my mental health. So with how bad it's been of late, my mental health has crumbled to my physical health. And I've just seen life patiently, and I've been like, right, if I don't get things together, things are just going to get worse. And that's the only thing that's driving me. Things are going to get worse if I don't get active. And it's been really hard to assert myself in terms of my mental health when my physical health is so bad and my life is so bad. But now's the time, now's the right time that I'm able to do that again, because I've got my mental health largely in check when I don't have antipsychotic medication messing up my life, and or my physical health being ignored by the NHS messing up my life. My mental health is largely in check, believe it or not, largely. And all of these things I'm able to do with good health, with life permitting, but it's not allowed for that for ages. So my mental health, I wouldn't say suffered, but my mental health has, I mean it has, but my mental health has been the expressing point in my life, because that's the final thing. When my physical health gets too much, I express through the filter of my mental health. That's how the pain of my life comes out. And there's not been much sense in addressing my mental health, because it's always going to get challenged from my physical health. But things are just so bad at the moment, and I am trying to be proactive. That I've seen something else I can do, and it's going to be hard to get myself there, and I have no hope for the future going forward. But I persist, because if I don't, my life is going to get worse. Antipsychotics work, man. Not on the physiological level, but to scare the shit out of people. Believe me, they scare me so much. I'm fighting depression on some next level that people can't imagine. It's like, imagine one of your worst nightmares. I mean, a realistic night. Finding yourself alone, finding yourself homeless, finding yourself, you know, with impaired vision, all of these elements. Imagine something just really bad. And then, essentially, that is an imprisonment. That is like what the medication does. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry, I've lost my ability to put the sentence together. Basically, what I'm saying is imagine yourself somewhere like that, and that place with the impaired vision, like we said. And imagine, for having that impairment, you could also be medicated to something that is a bigger hindrance to that original impairment. You're going to suck it up sooner or later and get on with life with that original impairment. It won't be easy, because it's an impairment to what you know as life. But knowing that if you don't get your act together, you're only going to get medicated, and that medication's going to be even worse, an experience, you find a way to cope, innit? You find a way to function, you find a way to get on. I joked last year, well, I didn't joke, I was sincere in my comment that I feel like I'm looking at life with the eyes of great spirit, great mystery, sorry. And what that means is the Red Indians, the Red tribe, have a way of describing life, the infinite. And they say when you have a mourning, someone close to you passes away, it's like you're looking at life with great mystery. And that is, in my eyes, my mind, saying life becomes so hard because we know to function on a daily basis, just to carry on. We're in that desolation, in that place where we're missing to the outside world, even though we're physically functioning. It's like great mystery looking through us. It's like the universe, it's like God, but God is too egotistical. It's just like the great mystery that we're all tied to. And it feels like that with me. I mean, I can't even, my grandfather's passed away like a few weeks ago, and things are so bad in the first instance. It's almost like a relief if I was to think about my grandfather passing away right now, because that's a bit more normal. So that's where I'm at. Just thank God the police are always polite and courteous and treat me with respect when they come to find out what's going on with me each time. And hopefully I can be courteous to my neighbours and be able to move off at a more frequent basis. I'm stuck here at the moment. I've overstayed. I should have moved off, but I shall see if I can show you. Look, that's the boat, and that's the insulation that's been delivered. And currently, it's blocking my ability to move off because I can't see when I'm cruising. So I'm persisting with getting the Velux in, and I can put a bit of insulation on and tidy the boat up so I can move off. And that's the thing, I need to be able to move when I have bad days, bad moments, so I'm not putting my life on the same people for too long a period. Are you enjoying the weather, or are you having beef with the weather like me?